Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's Nick from ROUD Career Coaching. Hope you are well. It's Sunday. I thought let's put some time together and talk about one particular thing. That's the topic of this little blog podcast, how CVs let you down. And over the next 10 minutes, short time, I'm going to talk about seven key things that I feel as an executive coach, as a career coach, I'm seeing every day. And I'll be really keen for you to maybe have a think about these 7 things and start looking at what it is you're doing with your CV and either carry on doing or stop doing. So let's get into it. I'm going high tech. Part 1. Not authentically you. What do I mean by that when I say not authentically you? There are some amazing templates and bits and pieces that you can download, get from the world web that really help you shape your own CV, or you can even go and hire a CV writer and somebody will sit alongside you for maybe 2 seconds and a week later they send you a couple of versions that you choose from. And I'm really worried by that as a coach, and people are letting themselves down because ultimately they're not getting through to an interview process, which is the whole point of having a CV, whole point of you creating your own CV. So not authentically you. I'm encouraging you to really think about who you are as a person, who you are as a professional, and then start to kind of create and build your own bespoke CV in that context. Only you know you. Somebody else will only know a very small, minuscule bit about yourself. So when you are looking at your CV, when you are thinking about creating your own bespoke CV, keep noted on yourself that is what I'm saying authentically who I am. Therefore, if somebody who has never met me in the past sits with me, they can say, wow, what I see on paper is exactly how you present in front of me. I meet so many people in my coaching business when it's the career coaching side, and they say, look, I get into an interview room and I get no feedback, or I get feedback that the fit wasn't right or the connection wasn't right. If we drill down into that, I suspect that not authentically being you is one of the big causes of that potential cross on your kind of file. How many times have you read something, listened to something, and then met somebody in person and gone, that isn't who I thought from a reading point of view? Just think about that for your CV. Your CV's been written by somebody, not you. It's been sent through the process of the website or whatever, however it is CVs get pulled through, got through the algorithms, and suddenly the hiring manager and the HR business partner have looked at your CV, read it on paper and gone, oh, got to get Nick in, must get Nick in for a conversation. 5 minutes into that conversation or that interview, they're looking at each other going, are we reading a different CV here? So just broadly speaking, think about that, being authentic to who you are and allowing that to come through on your CV. That's going to make you shine and pop when you're in that interview room. Point number 2, phone number. Simple thing. Here's my phone number, 0064 21 375 630. It's on all of my information that leaves this business. Because why? So people can contact me if they need some help or support. When I read CVs, when people send me through their current CV and I'm having a quick squiz through it just before we get into our coaching work, I'm trying to find the phone number or the email. Just think about that. Make it easy for the end user. Not easy for yourself, but make sure your phone number and your email and all your LinkedIn hyperlink, website, whatever, make sure they're front and center. Make sure that phone number is up to date and is working, and you've got a professional message on the back end of that. That could carry through all the pages of your CV, 1 page, 2 page, 3 page. Also on your covering letter. How many people send in a covering letter? Dear John, really interested to apply for the role of rocket scientist. Here's my CV attached. Look forward to speaking to you, Nick. Great. No phone number on that. So just think about all your marketing material going out, phone number, phone number, phone number. Point number 3, horrible word for me, spelling. Those of you that follow me for the last 5 odd years or 10 years or however long, you know I'm dyslexic. So written words are hard for me. And there's lots of different tools that we can use on Word, on different forums that you can get to check your spelling. So please do look at that. You know, I'm dyslexic. I check things. I've got a tool called Dragon that I can talk things through, and it goes and it all spills out on the screen, and then I have to kind of critique that. But really think about spelling on your CV, covering letter, LinkedIn profile. Spelling is still important, and I think it shows an air of ignorance and an air of I don't really care if we're not checking through those words on your CV. Get your spouse, get your loved one, get a friend, get a mate to check through it as well. If you're like me, dyslexic, or you struggle with written work, get somebody to work alongside you. But come back to that original point. Please make sure it's you and authentically you. So spelling, guys and girls, go through it, recheck it, check it again. This is a topic of debate at the moment, and a lot of HR managers and hiring managers who I have the pleasure of working alongside are also saying, Nick, too long, Nick, too short. Too long, too short. That's the CV. And as we walk through this quick dump session on potentially, you know, how CVs are holding you back and not working for you, too long, too short. There's a rule of thumb, 1 page is too short, 50 pages is too long. As I coach people in their CV, whether you're a CEO, whether you're starting out your professional career, I'm keen to think about the audience that CV is landing on. Think about the audience who's going to ultimately read that CV. Now, there are a lot of tools out there that are blocking CVs getting to the hiring manager. There's a lot of systems in play, but still, ultimately, that decision maker will read your CV, be it a chairperson, a board person, a CEO, a head of, a line manager, whatever. So too long, too short. Are you bored when you read your CV back to yourself? Have you switched off after page 1.5? Have you switched off after page 2, page 3? Just think about that, and then reflect that back into who the audience is, and really think about, well, if I'm bored, Nick, after page 1, then maybe that's all I need. Maybe that's the length it needs to be. Our CVs over many years. Now, I've been helping people since 2006 from a professional point of view, and helping them in their CVs and in their leadership and in their careers. And we sit and debate this at length here in the global headquarters around, oh, you know, I've got a 4-page, 5-page, 6-page CV. Is that right, Nick? And I'm going to come back to you being authentically you. Is that story that you're telling relevant, and is it going to capture the audience whose desk it lands on? So I've seen 2 extremes of CVs. This has been amazing in my career. I've seen a 1-pager, which was a high level, kind of a picture board CV, which was amazing. This lady's now a commercial director in one of our big listed businesses over here in New Zealand. And that was just a 1-pager, high level, bullet points. You could really see where she was coming from. And when you met this lady, it was absolutely mirror. It was wonderful. It was just a 1-pager. And then I've seen a 42-page book. So somebody actually created his life story I haven't got it here, I should have bought it, but it's in a kind of a coffee table, CE level. So he was talking about his values, his family, his purpose, his successes, his failures. And it kind of walked through every 5 years or every 10 years throughout his career. Now he's a CEO of a major corporate that I work with. And that was amazing. So you look at the 2 extremes, 1 page and then 40 odd pages in a book. You do you is what I'm saying. There is no Nick says it must be 3.5 pages long, therefore that's what it should be, because it's not. One rule about CVs, and you're going to hear this a lot from me if you work with me from a coaching point of view, is 20 people, 20 different views, 20 different solutions, 20 different ideas, 20 different ways. Stop spinning plates, stop spinning and getting out of control yourself. Go back to being authentically you, and remember, who are you talking to? Who is the audience? And show up as yourself on paper, be it 1 page or be it 42 pages. Point 5, I hope you're keeping up with me. It's a Sunday morning, I've only had 1 coffee. Holding back. Holding back. What do you mean, Nick, when you say holding back? I'm going to generalize, big sweeping statement. Nobody likes to beat their chest. Look at me, aren't I great? Ooh. Nobody likes that, and no one likes to see that. But I'm encouraging you as a coach, when I'm working with professionals on their CV, not to hold back. There's a line between being arrogant and being holding back. So temper that. If you won awards, say you won some awards. If you've got a scholarship somewhere, say you've had a scholarship. If you've been voted by your peers as the best team player for the quarter, then say that. You know, somebody who's never met you won't know that unless you put it out on your CV. Somebody who's never met you will never know that you've had these accolades or awards or achievements, as I like to call them. So I'm encouraging you not to hold back. Draw the line between holding back and being arrogant. You'll know what I mean by that, because when you read back your CV, you'll go, he or she sounds a bit of an arsehole. So just think about that. But don't hold back when there's things that you're really proud of. They could be outside work. I've got a number of clients that work with me that are on different boards, and they do different charity things. They do so many different things, but they say, oh, Nick, you know, I'm going for this CE role. Should I have this on my CV? And I'm like, whoa, absolutely 55%. Get it out there, get it on there, put it on your LinkedIn profile. Be proud of who you are and what you do. And if that annoys people, if that frustrates people, so be it, but be you, because that CV that you're creating, I want you to be able to really articulate and really bring you to the piece of paper. And if you hold back, if you just do a bog standard, I use the word, excuse me, Deloitte, so I'm not offending Deloitte, but Deloitte CV where it's just bullet point, 3 pages of listing job duties. We all know what a receptionist does. We all know what a general manager does. We know what a orthopedic surgeon does. We know what an accountant does, what a sales professional does, what a marketing person does. We may have a view of that, but remember, bring your own story through that CV. And as I said, stop holding back and allow yourself to be you. Couple more, and then we wrap up. I want it to be 10 minutes, and look at me, 14 minutes into it. So I'm so sorry, but I know it's so important to so many of you out there that are trying to get jobs, trying to present yourself to potential hiring managers in the best light. And not everyone who chooses to work with me, and that's absolutely fine. But I want to share this information so that it helps you, enables yourself to get in that interview room and be offered that job. That's the biggest thing for me when I talk about my career coaching side of my business. Number 6, this is going to be a bit of an unusual one. And Buzzy Bees. Nick, what are you talking about, Buzzy Bees? Buzzy Bees to me is lingo, buzzwords, cliches, whatever you want to call it. And if you look at sectors, let's talk about not-for-profits, banking, insurance, retail, FMCG, manufacturing, whatever the industry is, they've all got this internal mechanism of buzzwords, lean methodology, agile, whatever the buzzword is. And people go on into their CVs and they try and bring out these buzzwords. Great, love it, keep doing it. But think about the barriers that are going with a CV, the barriers of you getting to the interview room. And that could be your barrier. Are you going to the right people? Are you applying for the right jobs? Tick. Then it could be, is it sitting in a big CV pot of a base where the CVs get put into, and then the computer screens through all the buzzwords to then pull out a dozen CVs for then the HR business partner to then look at those things and look at the buzzwords and then pass them on to the hiring managers to review. And then he or she goes, great, lots of buzzwords, Nick, but who is this person? So look, I know there's a hell of a issue at the moment with clients of mine in particular saying, look, Nick, I've got to have these buzzwords in because it won't get me through AI. It won't get me into even the conversation with the HR business partner. I get it. Think about your covering letter for that. Think about that phone screen for that. Think about your LinkedIn profile for that. But your CV, that beautiful, bespoke, one-off, your document, it lands in front of the hiring manager. He or she's going to read that. And they're going to want to know, who is Nick? What does Nick bring to my team? What does Nick bring to my organization? How does Nick feel that he's achieved in his career, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? All the buzzwords in the world stop right there. So there's a healthy balance between the two. Sure, there's going to be things you need in your CV, but sorry, move away from the light. Please, 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 please stop short of just making sure you put buzzwords in there with big bold letters with an underline in red so that everyone can see this word. This is a marketing tool. Your CV is a marketing tool. I described it to somebody recently, and I hope this is okay, is you walk down a high street and each shop represents different CVs. And you're looking for a pair of shoes, for instance, and you walk past this bag shop and I don't know, barber shop, not me, but and then you see a shoe shop, and then suddenly you glance to your left or to your right and you look at that beautiful shop and it's got a pair of these beautiful leather or sneakers or whatever jandals that you've been looking for. But that straight away, that picture has captured you to go in and have a chat to the sales assistants or to have a look at, do these shoes fit? That is the essence of your CV. It's your shop window to who you are, so that somebody might want to have a chat further with you about your career, about your achievements, about what you've been doing, about what you bring. But please fall short, team, fellow professionals around the world. Buzzy Bees, buzzwords. Try to slow that down without losing the art of who you are. Look, this is really hard work. CVs are hard. And if you get rejection, or if you get no feedback, or if you get simply, dear John, thanks, but no thanks, that's demoralizing. And over the last 5 years, I've seen people that have applied for 40 odd jobs, and we sat in the global headquarters and done some work around their CV, and suddenly they're getting interviews, or suddenly they're being offered jobs, and they're going, well, what's gone on there, Nick? And I said, well, actually, we've been focused about your career, we've been focused about your CV, we've been focused with a result in mind. So just think about that with Buzzy Bees. The final bit I wanted to mention on these seven points, I hope this is all making sense. Now what? Now what? So you've spent some time over the last few weeks or next few weeks creating your own CV, making it feel you, making it feel authentic, making sure you've got the phone number on it that's relevant, that's up to date, emails, making sure you've checked the spelling, making sure it's not too long, not too waffly, but to the point, but not too to the point. You've left out the buzzy words, and you've really kind of captured it in the essence of who you are. And you feel really proud about this, and I'm thrilled for you if you've got to that stage. But then we look at the thing and we say, well, now what, Nick? That's great. What happens now? And that's really where your job starts, about going to the market and refreshing people and engaging with people and making sure that you are getting that new, bright, beautiful, bespoke CV into the hands and arms of those that need to have it. Not everybody in this world needs to see your CV. So are you tracking that? Are you in contact with the right people? Are you in front of the right organizations? Are you in front of the right HR business partners, the decision makers, the search firms, the headhunters, whatever you want to call them, search firms, headhunters, high street recruiters, those people that might be able to help you find jobs that aren't necessarily in the organizations? Are you tracking that? Are you monitoring that? Are you following that up? Are you seeing progress? Don't just do a CV, send it out to 50 people and go, Might have a coffee. That was good. Great work, Nick. Great work. And then wait for the phone to ring, because it is not happening. It's not happening. 250 applicants to one job, 11 people screened, 5 people down to a shorter, longer list, and then into the interview rounds. So bear that in mind. Take control of it. Don't expect the phone to ring. So be proactive. If you want to do a deeper dive on your CV and want to have a little bit more insight into your own CV, I don't write CVs. Dyslexic Nick writing a CV, that could be the most amazing CV in the world. But look, it's not what I do. I'm sure there's some amazing writers out there, but my job is to coach you on your CV that will enable you to get in the interview room, that will enable you to at least sit around that table and have the conversation. That's a part of my business, ROUD Career Coaching. We've obviously got the very senior executive and the year-long coaching program that I work one-on-one with very senior executives. We've got the business coaching where I work with the regional business partner network here in New Zealand, coaching on the MBA program and stuff like that. But for when it's CVs and the career coaching, those are kind of things that I'm working through with people and trying to enable you to do that. So if you want a deeper dive, if you want to have a further conversation about your CV, about careers, about your own leadership, as I said to you at the start, have you got your phone number, email? Is it right? Better check this. Nick, 0064 if you're outside New Zealand, 213755630, nick@roudcareers.co.nz. I didn't have Dragon to check that, so I had to just check that. So look, 20 odd minutes, just a bit of a dump on a Sunday for your CV. And if you're thinking about that over the long weekend here in New Zealand or around the world, Queen's birthday, I hope you're having a relaxing holiday, a relaxing break. And if you are putting work into your executive, leadership or professional CV, hopefully those 7 points will give you a bit of a spark, a bit of a ba-dum to get that pen, to get that computer out today because it's raining and get into work with it. Love to be of help, love to be of service. I'm going to wish you and your families a beautiful day. And I suppose there's ways of making comments or whatever you want to do. Go well, be yourself, keep being you, look after yourself and look after each other. And I hope this has helped you around your CV. Take care.